like to call the meeting to order. Stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Brewer. Here. Trustee Carter. Here. Trustee Grant.
Here.
Trustee Tate. Here. Trustee Todd. Here. Trustee Zupan. Here.
I'll entertain a motion to go into recess for the matters of employment and compensation as needed with action to be taken.
So moved.
Second.
It's moved by Trustee Zupan, second by Trustee Carter. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Brewer. Yes. Trustee Carter.
Yes.
Trustee Grant.
Yes.
Tate.
Yes.
Trustee Todd. Yes. Trustee Zupan. Yes.
Motion is carried. We're going to convene. We'll be right out. Okay, we'll entertain a motion to reconvene.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Trustee Zupan and second by Trustee Grant. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Carter.
Here.
Yes.
Yes.
Trustee Grant.
Yes.
Trustee Tate.
Yes.
Trustee Todd. Yes. Trustee Zupan. Yes. Trustee Brewer. Yes.
Motion is carried. Item number 4, approval of minutes. I'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes for the committee of the whole meeting on July 17, 2018.
So moved.
Moved by Trustee Grant, second by Trustee Carter. Any questions? Madam Clerk?
Trustee Grant.
Yes.
Trustee Tate.
No.
Trustee Todd. Yes. Trustee Zupan.
Yes.
Trustee Brewer. Yes. Trustee Carter.
Yes.
Motion is carried. I'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes of the meeting of the board, October 23rd, 2018. I'll accept the motion. Need a second?
I'll second.
Moved by Trustee Carter, second by Trustee Zupan. Any questions? Madam Clerk?
Trustee Tate.
No.
Trustee Todd.
Abstain.
Trustee Zupan.
Abstain.
Trustee Brewer. Yes. Trustee Carter.
Yes.
Trustee Grant.
Yes.
Motion is carried. Item number 5, public comment. All comments and questions will be directed to the mayor. Each speaker may comment on any matter pertaining to the business of Sauk Village. Each speaker is allowed one opportunity to speak for up to 3 minutes and may not engage in debate or counter discussions. I will answer all comments at the end of the comment session. You can step right up and give your name.
Linda Washington. I'm here to talk about the firing of Chief Kowalski on Friday. The residents, we understand that our chief out here was fired on Friday, let go. Nobody knew what was going on over the weekend, what was the protocol, who was in charge of the safety of the village. The residents felt very unsafe not knowing what was going on. We called the trustees, some of the trustees that are available to be reached. They had no idea what was going on. Being a former trustee here in Sauk Village myself, it is appalling that the mayor and his advisors would remove a police chief on a weekend, knowing all of the things that go on in this village, all of the hot spots that we have in this village, remove the chief on a Friday, not have nobody in control, that the residents can feel safe and know about what's going on. We know we have a protocol, we know people that's in place, but just to remove the chief, the holiday was Monday, and then tonight to be prepared to put somebody else in place. I sat right there next to you for 4 years when you was a trustee, Mayor Burgess. If former Mayor Lewis Towers or David Hanks would have done anything remotely like this, you would have been raising all kind of hell. First of all, the salary. We still have to pay Chief Kowalski, I understand, for 4 more months of his contract. Where are we getting all of this money from? Those are your famous words to everybody. Your famous words always was, Mayor Hanks, Mayor Towers, with all due respect, that we grow a money tree in Sauk Village. Where are we getting all this money from all of a sudden? Now you, the mayor, we getting money from everywhere. Joe Wizwaz is still on social media talking about everybody, drawing pictures about everybody, putting everybody down along with the other people that's on social media. So the prayer that the ministers in this village came together and had for it to stop and the racial tension to stop, you got to constantly stirring the pot and keeping it going. It makes absolutely no sense that there is no communication from the mayor's office to the trustees that were elected by the people. These trustees are not just sitting up here because they want to be up here. We elected them to sit up there to watch the village and watch the money. Where is the money going? You all need to do your job you was elected to do and let the residents know what's going on.
Judy Cast here. First of all, this all has been brought up with the last 2 administrations and now this one. And in no way am I judging the integrity or the professionalism of the person you intend to swear in. But my questions go to you. You decided that a FOIA, when I give a FOIA request, I usually get a copy of it that has been stamped so that if I need to, I can tell the state's attorney it went in on this date and this time. You decided to stop that. And your logic in that was because it was going to save money. One lousy piece of paper is going to save money. You spent $400 on a chair for yourself. Our police department has garbage furniture that should never be in that station. It should be thrown out in the garbage now and let them sit on some apple boxes or something. Because we don't have the money. You haven't replaced 2 officers that left. Even though it's still in the budget, you're still not replacing them because, again, you're saving money. You hired an HR person that's milking us dry with her HR pay as well as her pay for the police contract, which is going close to a year now and nothing's been done. Why hasn't it been solved? Why are we spending all that money? The accounts payable today has her on here for her pay plus pay for the contract negotiations. We don't have enough money, and yet you're going to bring in a brand new police chief.
1 minute.
And even though it would be spectacular to have somebody like that, we have 3 people within our own department that are capable of being a chief. It would save us money to have them from within. But you, Derek, refuse to swallow your pride and your personal feelings and do what you promised to do in your campaign. We do have the people, and when we finally get our feet on the ground, then you can get somebody to your liking. But in the meantime, we don't have the money. And I agree with Linda Washington. You did this very quick, without the approval of the board. I was at the last board meetings way back. None of this came up to the board, wasn't approved. Your people that you hired, HR, the treasurer, Joe Rizzawati, none of them were approved. Where are you getting all the money from? And if there is a tree, can I have a sap?
Yes, my name is Gerald Grant. My thing is about my water bill. Now, when you guys turned my water off, my bill was $185. My bill was $185. Now, all of a sudden, I haven't had any water. My water been out since last October. Every time I come and try to pay this, you're sending me another water bill. Now my bill is $979 for something I haven't even used. This young lady over here, she promised me she was gonna make adjustments to it. And she sent me a voicemail on my phone telling me she changed her mind, she's not gonna do it. And I got the proof on my phone. Because whatever's going on between me and you, Mr. Burgess, is something personal, bro. But it's not business. I've been knowing you for a while, and you know that. So you guys need to try to get my water back on. I'm not gonna give y'all no $900-something for no water I haven't used. I ain't got no problem with the $285. That's with the $100 reconnection fee. You need to keep your word. When we voted you in, we're gonna vote you up out of here. You're not right, man. That's all I got to say. Try to get this together for me. It's been too long.
Nathan Griffin. I have several questions I would like to ask you, Mayor. Can you, as a mayor, and the new administration, change the rule that has been enforced for years? I'd like to know. I'm going to give you the question. I just want to know, can you change things? You and the new administration, things that's been enforced for years and years and years, can you, as a new mayor and the administration, which is the trustees and clerk, can you change things?
Is that all you have?
Okay, I'll go right down to this. If your water, I'm talking concerning water, I'm not having no problem, but there's other people in the villages having problems. If your water is shut off, why should you receive a bill? If the water is completely shut off, why should you get a bill? Why? Water, sewage, garbage is considered one bill. I understand that. But if the water and the sewage is cut off, can't you just charge for garbage pickup only? Just want you to take that in consideration, think about it.
1 minute, sir.
Until some kind of arrangements can be made with the person or persons that had their water cut off. Can they just pay the garbage bill only? Because their garbage is being picked up. But I still, that's a mystery to me. It really is a mystery. That's something to really think about. When your water is cut off, click, click, click. Your water's off. Why should you get a bill? Thank you, Mayor. Are you going to answer this, or are you going to answer? You want me to stand here and you give me an answer, or what you want me to do?
As I stated before, sir, in this every meeting, I will answer the question at the conclusion of all questions.
Kathy Betcher. First, I want to know, what is the price on that SOC? First, I want to know what the price is on that SOC program that you're going to vote on today. Is it replacing something we already have, and is there a difference in that price? Second, Has the water, or, I'm sorry, I'm on something else here. Has the fire department received the funds to replace and repair the mandatory safety equipment that is needed to keep them safe while they come out and respond to save lives and property? Next, and I know what your answer is going to be to this question, but I'm going to ask it anyway. Why was the police chief fired? You fired Sherry. She did her job. She was qualified. You fired Mohan. He did his job. He was qualified. He was honest. And now, when our village is overabundant with crime, we have shots fired in every area of this village, except for maybe Deer Creek. And you have the audacity to fire the man that will come out and help his policeman. And he is qualified. He was not just a chief. He came out and was part of the village, and you fired him. I have no disrespect for the man that you're about to put in. I don't know him. I don't know if he's qualified. I hope he's qualified.
1 minute.
Because your track record with replacing the people that you fired is by far bad.
Heidi Parker. I have a problem with you answering the questions after everyone has spoken. You do not answer all the questions, and you also turn things around, because I think the audience may not remember what was asked. Like last meeting, when it was about operational transfers, and you started talking about transferring money from one account to another one, not giving you a legal definition of operational transfers. Please go back to answering the questions after each person has made their statements. Thank you.
Good evening, Mayor and Board. First of all, I'd like to say thank you for having a presentation on the website. Considering the financials have not been updated on the website for over a year, I'm glad to see that there is some movement being done on that. However, I understand that the department heads, or maybe the trustees, are going to be able to do their own portion of the website. I would just like to recommend a website committee. I would like to recommend that you take input from the community. I would also like to volunteer for a website committee. Considering I was on the website committee before, I would actually like to be a part of that decision. Second of all, I'm not here to disrespect anybody. I'm here to be as respectful as possible. I don't know the person who's being appointed tonight, and I'm sure he's extremely qualified. Being the ex-clerk, I have certain things at my disposal, and I would like to read from December 13, 2011 minutes. Miscellaneous business, comments from the trustees. Trustee Burgess stated that Mayor Towers, I'm sorry, did not mean to say his name, is intentionally trying to circumvent the village board's legal authority to represent advice and consent as stipulated in the Illinois compiled statutes. While the mayor has the legal right to appoint, the power is checked by the village board of trustees with the requirement of the village board's advice and consent. That's from the actual minutes, December 13, 2011. I also went back on a few emails because being the village clerk for 8 years in a very hostile environment for 8 years, history is repeating itself, not once, not twice, 3 times, maybe more. I mean, this isn't the first time we've been in this situation. It's unfortunate because it doesn't just affect the people that are being brought before the village, it affects the residents, and it affects the board members, it affects the department heads. I'm not going to read this whole email, but it is available to those who want it because a lot of it doesn't pertain and a lot of it's kind of rushed. I want to first of all thank you for speaking with me today. As you may know, I'm a former trustee of Sauk Village and governed at this time when law and order prevailed as well as a man's word was his bond. I wanted to share a sincere message with you and hope that you take it to heart, or at least into consideration. I believe you to be an upstanding person. You got caught up in a quagmire of political games for which you have no control over and wants without the advice and consent of his village board of trustees. He has taken it upon himself, he should have taken it upon himself to read the village's articles of incorporation as well as the village's municipal code before taking office. He would have been aware of some significant details. He's losing the respect of his board. They oppose him not because it's politically expedient, but to do so rather than he fails to engage with basic common sense when he proposes directives to his board of trustees. And again, these are not my words, this is actually in an email. Sauk Village is not a strong, it's not a mayor form of government, as the mayor has, can I have another minute? I'm almost done. Respectfully, thank you, sir. As the mayor so erroneously believes, but a mayor-trustee form of government. Simply put, sir, you're an intelligent man, and I believe that under different circumstances, you would have been a logical choice for police chief. However, the mayor has robbed you of that opportunity when he failed to post the job to other candidates and follow the democratic process of choosing the best from the lot. Thank you for giving me more time. The lack of transparency is causing hard feelings amongst the residents and amongst the board. We have qualified people in the department that could have been chosen. We have for years been the poster child for bad behavior for boards, and will we ever be a community that works and plays together? I want that community back. I've been a resident for over 30 years, and I want that community back, and I want to be a part of a community that works together. And no, I did not name the person who wrote this email, but I have a copy of it. Thank you.
Rachel Eastman, although I might not be as colorful. I do hope that the new police... I said Rachel Eastman. I hope that the police chief does do a good job, the one you're putting in. But I am still concerned about the lack of patrolmen that we have. We are still needing at least 2 more officers. So even though we are getting a police chief, that is awesome. I'm wondering if and when we will be getting at least 2 more officers because of the amount of overtime these people are doing, which is good. They like doing it, I guess, but it is kind of dangerous when they're up for God knows how many hours and doing not even the 8 hours in between their shift. So, I mean, I'm just saying, I think it would be better if we had at least two different officers, or at least an officer on each shift, which is 3 shifts. So maybe 2 or 3 officers more. But that's all I wanted to say. Thank you.
Yeah.
Mary Escobedo. I'm here to talk about the social media. As you know, I said I'll be here every week. Joe Wizawati should have been fired. You know there's an ordinance. The ordinance was given to you and to all your trustees. And again, for all of you trustees who keep agreeing with the mayor and not doing anything about it, remember, you were brought in, people voted you in, and they will vote you out. And for those that were not voted in, I'm sure you won't get voted in. But I just want to say that every time I get a compliment, I pull out the little article that Joe Wizawati and company wrote about me, along with my picture. And I'm asked, why is he so insecure? And what threat am I to him? And I say, I have a high school diploma. He doesn't. That's all I have to say. But you do need to control your people, your employees, even though you say you can't control them. If you can't control them, you're not a leader. That's all I have to say for tonight. Thank you.
Pat Couch. Again, for about the 9th week, I think, in a row, if I'm not mistaken. I've lost count. I'm still waiting to get a report on how many fire hydrants
are down, how many been repaired. We seem to not get any of that information. So someday, maybe we'll find that, because it does affect the residents, it affects their insurance. If they go out and have a fire and they don't have a working fire hydrant, somebody's gonna pay. Another issue regarding our fire department, I'm a little upset that I hear numerous times a week when our firemen are called out on a call to back up the ambulance service, which we pay a dadgum good dollar to that ambulance service, but they send an ambulance out for whatever, but then they get there and then they have to call. We need backup, we need extra help, we need lift assist. How much money is the ambulance service going to reimburse the village or our fire department for all these calls that they send two young girls out on that ambulance? They can't lift the patient or whatever. They have to call out our fire department, who is getting paid on call, to help them. Somebody needs to look at all that money that is going to the ambulance service. Then we go out to back them up and we're not getting a penny back, are we? Curious.
I wanted to see if we can get some help over there on Carroll. I know we need help everywhere in the village, but they're breaking in all these homes, stealing furnaces. I see them doing it, you know, on the block. They're pulling up with these trucks and, you know, there's garbage, they're selling drugs down the block. You know, something gotta be done about it. And all these shootings, there's just one thing after another over there. I was gonna go down there and start raking up all the garbage, but you know, my daughter said, well, they'll just laugh at you. I said, I don't care. I said, why don't they, you know, help out? Or somebody help out. I'm willing to volunteer and do it, but you know, nobody wants to help out, so. So, all right, thank you.
Okay. Let me try to go back over this. First of all, the fire chief was not fired on Friday. I'm sorry, the police chief was not fired on Friday. I don't know where that rumor came out, and that's why I try my best to keep things, because things get out and they get misrepresented, because he was let go today by me, and then it was asked why did I, because I felt I needed to go in a different direction. As far as the FOIAs, I never told anybody, I don't know where that came from, to stop stamping the FOIAs. I don't even know where that came from, but I'll check into that, because I'm not there to when the FOIAs come in, so how would I even say don't stamp them? They need to be stamped so we know when they came in, because if they don't have a date on them, they're actually date heavy, so that we have to find out when they came in so we make sure to respond to them. As far as a person's water bill, I'll check into that, because I wasn't aware that someone promised another person that they would, you know, I know that, and let me set the record straight. I've known you through someone else, the person I'm talking about, and I know a lot of times someone wants to claim family, but there's no way that I'm not any part of the family of this particular person. But I will check into to see if there was a promise given. I don't know if it was given, but I'll have to find out if there's a recording. I'll have to listen to that. But I do know that the individual was coming to pay the water bill. It was given a price last year. They didn't pay it, or the early part of this year, and didn't pay it. And so when you don't pay it, quite naturally, your water bill continues to move on. As far as if your water's shut off, if you shut your water off and you ask to have that service discontinued, your water bill should stop. If we shut you off, you're going to still continue to get a water bill because you're not paying it. You have to actually ask to have that shut off. So if you want to come in and talk about that, If you, I'm gonna try to finish this, but I'm not gonna keep going back and forth. If you ask to have your water shut off, your water will be shut off at that time. If we shut it off because of non-payment, you will still acquire a bill. We just shut your water off, but you're still gonna pay a minimum each and every month till you come in and make restitution. So yes, you have to come in. As far as your garbage, there's no way that you can just have garbage and not the water bill is equated with the sewer and garbage. All that is in one. There's no such thing as garbage only. You would, you know, so that we're not picking up just garbage and your water shut off. If someone is picking up the garbage and the water shut off, that's a mistake of ours, and I'm glad someone said something, because that's a mistake on our part as a village, because we equate all of it at the same. As far as the person asking about the Sauk program, I think I have a copy of it, the contract, and okay, $2,400 a year for that particular service of Sauk. And also, same person asked about the receive funds to get equipment. We receive funds all the time. We just have to wait to accumulate enough. Right now, we're trying to see if we're going to get a grant to replace some of the equipment for the fire department. And so right now, we're waiting on that. And if it's not, then we have to go and the funds that we're given, and there's not a lot that we're given through different billings that we get from the state to purchase this equipment. And as far as fire personnel, a couple of people that were let go was due to consolidation. And yes, I did fire Mr. Mohan and Chief Kowalski, and that was something that I felt that was needed, because I needed to, if I keep doing the same thing over and over and expect a different result, then I'm crazy. As far as problem answering, at the end, I'm trying to answer all the questions. The website, I will put you down for that person that wants to be part of the website committee. I have your number, so we'll be in contact with that when that committee is formed. As far as lack of police officers on patrol, I've known that for a while. We're going to try to address that. That's why I need to go in a different direction. It's not that we don't have enough police officers. We need to utilize them more and in a different direction. I don't answer social media questions. The fire hydrants, I thought that was given to you. I would make sure you get a copy of the fire hydrants that are in repair and the fire hydrants that are not working. And as far as ambulance service calling out, I've already talked to Bud's Ambulance about that. Why do they need, if they have people that's there to assist someone or to come out on the call, why should they have to wait and call our fire department to help do that? So that's something that's been addressed. It was talked about before. If you're out on the call, you should make sure that whoever's on an ambulance has the proper personnel to take care of the job. And as far as the Carroll Avenue and the shootings, we're going to be addressing those more aggressively. We cannot stop shooting, as I said before. Police, you got a bunch of police in here today. Not one of them can stop a shot, unless they want to jump in front of a bullet. But they cannot stop a person that wants to shoot another person. They can deter it. They can, hopefully their presence will deter a person from doing it. But if a person wants to shoot someone, you can have 1,000 police officers on the street. As soon as they go or whatever, if it wants to happen, it's going to happen. So the only thing we can do is show a better presence, and hopefully that we can get more interaction with the community. And that's the way that you have to do that. That being said, we'll move on to the reports. The mayor's report. At this time, I would like to ask for a motion to approve our new chief, Malcolm. I need a motion from the board.
So, second.
Moved by Trustee Carter, second by Trustee Zupan. Any questions?
I just have a comment.
And Deputy White, this is nothing personal. Because reading your resume, you're very qualified. The issue that I have, I want you to know as I listen to the residents, this board was not aware. We're told at the last minute. So I want you to understand when I place my vote, this is not personal.
Any other questions? Madam Clerk?
Trustee Todd? No. Trustee Zupan?
Yes.
Trustee Brewer?
Abstain.
Trustee Carter?
Yes.
Trustee Grant?
Yes.
Trustee Tate?
Motion is carried. Madam Clerk, would you please swear in our new police chief? Mr. White, would you please come up?
And repeat after me, please. I, Marcus White,
Mouth.
that will be changed, do solemnly swear or affirm that I will support the Constitution of the State of Illinois, the laws and ordinances of the Village of Sauk Village, and that I will, as the Chief of Police of the Police Department of Sauk Village, I will protect to the best of my ability the lives and property of the citizens of our village, and that I will faithfully assume and discharge the duties of the said office according to the law and ordinances while serving with loyalty and pride in our Sauk Village Police Department, according to the best of my ability. You are now.
I can't help but ask the question. I see a lot of police officers. I guess you came for support. Thank you.
May I have all the officers that's in the building to come up, please, right now? If you're an officer, please come.
Oh, the milk.
Okay, and the rest of you, if you can start coming over here for me.
Chiefs, yes. I know you are.
Mr. Mayor, may I have you up front, please? Mr. Mayor?
Yeah, they just finished swearing. They just sworn him in. Yeah.
Oh, sure. Thank you guys, man. Okay, next item under my report is a resolution that I'm going to read for the school district serving the students and the residents in Sauk Village. The following districts, we have 4 of them. Stager School District, District 168, is located in both Southern Cook County and Northern Weld County. Stager.
Excuse me, Mr. Mayor, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but that's not on the agenda, is it?
That's under my report. This is a resolution.
This is a resolution. Okay, I'm sorry.
No, you can't close, you cannot close the door. Okay, can you hear me now?
Yeah, it's better.
Okay. As I said, Stager School District 194, and it currently serves 1,700 students throughout Stager, South Chicago Heights, Park Forest, Sauk Village, and Creek, and this serves students residing in Deer Creek subdivision. School District 172 is the elementary school district based in an unincorporated southern Chicago suburb, Chicago Heights, Illinois, and serves Chicago Heights and the surrounding communities of Linwood and Sauk Village. District 172 serves students residing in Weatherstone. District 168 is arranged in grade level attendance centers and pre-kindergarten through 8th grade through 2nd graders attending Wagner, 3rd through 5th graders attending Strasburg, and 6th through 8th graders attending Rickover. And then the last school district is Bloom Trail High School, District 206, which serves Stager, Sauk Village, Creek, South Chicago Heights, Fort Heights, small portion of Chicago Heights, and parts of Linwood. And the following schools that feed into Bloom Trail are Columbia, this is located in Stager, Rickover, which is located in Sauk Village, Creek Monique, and is located in Creek, and Cottage Grove Middle School, which is located in Fort Heights. The resolution is as follows. Whereas school board members are elected to sit in trust for the diverse communities and in the capacity are charged with meeting the community's expectations and aspirations for the public education for their children. And whereas school board members are entrusted with the guardianship and wise expenditure of scarce tax dollars, and they are responsible for maintaining and preserving the buildings, grounds, and other areas of the school district that the community has put in their trust. And whereas school board members are responsible for providing leadership that ensures a clear, shared vision of public education for their schools that sets high standards for education of all students and requires the effective and efficient operation of their district. Whereas school board members adopt policy to give voice so that leadership and employ a superintendent to administer board policy and are also responsible for the regular monitoring of the district's performance and compliance with state policy. And whereas school board members selfishly volunteer countless hours to public service with no compensation, and as whereas employers are supportive of their employees who serve as school board members, generally lending support in time. Employers give their employees the opportunity to better serve the needs of the school district and communities they represent through sometimes tremendous sacrifice to the employer. And whereas decisions made by school board members directly impact the quality of life in their communities, placing them as the front line of American democracy. And now, therefore, be it resolved by the Village of Sauk Village that we proclaim November 15, 2018 as School Board Members Day as a way to honor these citizens who devote their time and energy for the successful education of our children. This is the opportunity for students, administrators, teachers, staff, parents, guardians, and the community to thank the school board for its commitment to providing a local governance voice on education issues. Dated the 13th of November, Mayor Derek Burgess. I will be presenting this to the school board and reading it probably at the next board meeting, but I think it's, no. Also, I would like to, for the school board members that are here in the village, I'm sorry, in the rotunda right now, could you please stand? Tammy Jones and Sinead Garrett and Sharon. Okay. Yeah, that's Sharon. I didn't see it. Could you give these people please a round of applause? Oh, she didn't stand, but yes, and Margaret Pruitt is also a school board member. I said all school board members, please stand. I know. So I will be giving copies out to each one of the school districts that we represent, and they'll be getting the copies of that. Okay, next item, village clerk's report. Madam Clerk.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I am pleased to report that Public Works was out last week placing our bricks, so I did not go back to confirm that each and every one had been planted, but I know that they worked on it for 2 days in a row. I would like to invite everyone out, well, the mayor and I would like to invite everyone out to Bloom Township's Property Tax Appeal Forum that's going to take place this coming Thursday. We participated in this last year, and for those of you who did, I'm not certain how much of a relief you got. I got a little less than 1,000, but you know what? I appreciate that little less than 1,000 after they reviewed my taxes. So if you have concerns with your taxes, I would suggest that you come out. This is the next step after you file the appeal. If you've not filed the appeal, they will assist you with getting that appeal filed, and then this is where it actually goes to make the final determination. So you really, really would want to come out here on Thursday at 6:30. I mentioned before that the partnership meeting between all of the entities in Sauk Village will be having a meeting on Monday, the 19th, I believe it is, at the School Board Administrative Office, and I would like to invite any of you who would want to come. More specifically, though, I would ask our new police chief to be there, along with our other emergency management crew, as well as I would like for Trustee Carter to consider attending that meeting as well. Following the partnership meeting on Tuesday, we will talk about the Christmas cheer. However, we will have a meeting for those who can on the next day, which is the 20th at 1:30. But trustees, please know that the mayor has specifically stated that he would like for you to have a larger role in Christmas cheer this year. So I am counting upon each and every one of you to play that role that is his expectation. Last thing that I would have to report on is the mayor and I met with the gentleman from the census office one day last week, and he basically laid out a timeline for us, and know that early January we will be getting started. And I am going to ask our previous village clerk, because she's so experienced, to serve on that committee with us so that she can help us through this process. But I would like to invite anyone else who's interested. We need no more than 5 to 8 people on that, and I promise you, you will not have to get out and walk door to door. You will be our ambassador, just really reaching out to particular areas of people to help them to embrace what we want, because we know that based on the number of people that we can account for in our census, that determines the type of resources and monies. They have targeted specific age groups this time. They're looking at the babies. So Board President Tammy, I would want you to be on that committee too, because we need to get Blossoms involved, and any and everyone that's the target population, we're going to go after them, because Sauk Village needs money, Sauk Village needs resources, Sauk Village people need to have faith in a process so that they can be counted and we can benefit from it. And Mr. Mayor, that concludes my report.
Thank you. I just had some papers up here. It was buried under some papers, and I just wanted to kind of read this letter I just got today. I didn't tell anyone about this. This is something that I just wanted to bring up today. I didn't even know this existed, but I found out this letter is from the government. The Government Finance Officers Association, which is in Chicago, is directed to the Honorable Mayor Derek Burgess. It says, "Dear Mayor Burgess, we are pleased to notify you that Village of Sauk Village has received the Distinguished Budget Presentation Award for the current budget from Government Finance Officers, GFOA. This award is the highest form of recognition in governmental budgeting and represents a significant achievement by your organization. When a Distinguished Budget Presentation Award is granted to an entity, a certificate of recognition for budget presentation is also presented to the individual or department designated as being primarily responsible for having achieved the award. This award has been presented to Judith C. Sufton, the treasurer. We hope, and this is when she was, we hope that you will arrange for a formal presentation of the award and that the appropriate publicity will be given to this notable achievement. A press release is enclosed for your use." So when we get the actual award, I will be presenting this at the board meeting. I just wanted to let everyone know that I got this today, and I just had to bring it and let everybody know about it. I didn't even know it actually existed, but congratulations, Ms. Suffolk. Okay, Village Engineer, Mr. Jim Zarnick.
Thank you, Mayor. First of all, we will be rebidding the West Elevated Tank Riser Replacement Project this winter with the hope that we will get lower bid pricing with the greater availability of contractors who could complete this type of work. And secondly, the design of the I-394 water crossing is progressing well. We are looking to bid this project this winter also. And that concludes my report. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. Report to the Department's Finance Administration.
I would like to know how much are the West Elevated tanks going to cost? That approximate cost?
About $40,000 to $50,000.
40 to 50. And do you have any information on the status of the Osland grant? We were supposed to get some money back from that grant. So do you have any information about when we're going to get it? And you also, Robinson Engineering said they was going to contribute because of the, I guess, I want to say mismanagement, but I know it just fell through cracks. Get some of that money back, and could we use that money to contribute to the riser? Save money?
I will check with the engineer responsible for billing and issuing that refund.
Okay, so the $85,000 is back to, is that IDOT it went back to, or who did the $85,000 go back to?
Well, IDNR.
IDNR. Okay, it's gone? Okay, I'll ask later. See, that'll save us some money.
Any other questions? Okay. Finance and Administration, Interim Director Judy Sufton.
Thank you, Mayor and trustees. We have 3 bond payments due to Amalgamated Bank on December 1st. The money for the 2007A bond payment of $685,000 was transferred to the bond trustee last week in an interest-bearing account at Amalgamated Bank. And I'm happy to report that this is the last payment the village owes on the 2007A bond. After this payment, the debt for the municipal center will officially be retired. The money for the 2007 B and C bonds will be transferred this week to the trustee, again into an interest-bearing account at Amalgamated. So we are going to meet all of those obligations. In addition to that, we're now entering into a period where our revenue streams are slowing down. With our revenue streams will again pick up again in March when we receive our property taxes. In the meantime, I will be communicating this to all department heads so that we can work together to eliminate all non-essential spending until March. This is a normal part of the municipal's annual financial life cycle, and we will manage through this. This concludes my report.
Ms. Sutphin, you indicated that this comes from, I'm sorry, you indicated that this will be the funds, the 685 is coming from Amalgamated, right?
It's going to Amalgamated.
Okay, the 87,000 and the 53,000, it says from the First Midwest Bank.
That's the checking account that it comes from. That's our operating, corporate account. So all of our payments essentially come from First Midwest.
But they're Amalgamated first?
No, the bond payments go to Amalgamated Bank. Amalgamated Bank is our trustee, our bond trustee. And they receive all of our bond payments, and they sit in the middle between the bond holders and the village. So their job is to sit in between both of us and to ensure that the bondholders get their payments. That's what a trustee's role is.
Okay. Now, I sent you a couple of requests for reports. They weren't FOIAs, and I haven't been able to get that information from you. I'd like to know, can you get me that information? I've been doing this since September 21st, and I haven't got any. I did get one report from you, but I would like to take a look at some of that stuff, and I can't do anything until you send me some information, some data.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think I communicated this to you earlier, that my first priority is to answer all the FOIAs. There is a financial risk to the village if we do not respond to FOIAs on a timely basis. So that definitely, I'm sure everyone can agree that that is the first priority of any of us. So we will be responding to all FOIAs, and I have that on my list to get back to you as well.
Okay. Also, on the agent report, it's $11,540.34. That's been on the agent report for some time from Robin Schwartz.
Yes.
What is that?
Robin Schwartz is a legal firm. These legal bills date back to 2014. And I have been in communication with them. They continue to send us bills every month. That's why I put it on that report. But I'm in communication with them because I cannot, they have not been able to satisfy me as to what it is that they did for that money. And then I need to then go to a department head to get, to get their recollection that this work was indeed done.
If I'm not mistaken, this is way before your time. This has been on a while.
Yes, it was. When I stepped in, I saw that invoice that was coming to the village every single month and reached out to them. So I've started that dialogue with them.
Okay. And also we have another one for S&K Securities. Is that the right one? $1,200. It's been there a while too.
Well, that was something that we, again, that was in an envelope that was stated that this was on his. But because they say that it's an obligation of the village, I put it on the report.
Well, yeah, that 11,000 has been there a long time.
Must have been.
Are we supposed to ask for questions about the council payable to?
We're not voting on the accounts payable.
I asked you, are we supposed to ask questions about it?
Not until we get to that point, no.
Yes and no, but she won't be here to answer the question.
Okay.
Can you tell me what this terry floral design is for?
On what page is it?
It's on page 1. It's $107.
I can answer that. That is for Roger Peckham's floor arrangement.
Okay. Also, there's another one. when do we expect to see the bond payments? I know you said they're coming from amalgamated, but when are they going to show? Are they going to show up on the accounts payable?
No.
The 87 and the 53. So how will we know it's been paid?
If we don't pay our bond payments, that's an event of default for any municipality, and at that point in time, everyone would be advised of that. So I'm advising you that we are on time paying our loan payments and our bond payments.
Okay, so is there any way we get something to write, send it there on time or something?
Yes.
Okay. Fire Department, Captain Dennis Sinowik.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Over the period from October 26th through November 8th, the Fire Department responded to 38 calls for service. We had 8 fire alarms, 9 vehicle accidents, 4 ambulance assists, 5 auto aid to our neighbors, 5 CO alarms, 1 lockout, 1 smell of smoke, 4 smell of gas, and 1 brush fire. Honorable Mr. Mayor and trustees, the Fire Department participated in the Veterans Day Remembrance at ABF Trucking and at the Village Hall. Both were well received. A grant has recently been submitted by the Fire Department to replace our SCBA bottles and fire hose. We are also included in the MABUS 27 grant to replace all our two-way radios in order to become P25 compliant. Let's hope both of these grants are approved so we can save the town a bunch of money. On a sad note, retired Captain Robert Corners from the Fire Department passed away yesterday morning. He was 82 years old. Please keep his family in your prayers. He served on the department from 1969 to 1986 for 15 years. His wake will be held at Smith's Funeral Home in Dyer from 2 to 8, and there will be a funeral mass Thursday at 10:30 at St. James. This concludes my report. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Police Department, Chief Malcolm White, you have any words that you want to say?
No report at this time. I do look forward to next meeting to give a report. My support group that was here, just so everyone knows, those were members of the South Suburban Chiefs Association, as well as NOBLE, the National Organization of Black Law Enforcement Executives, as well as the Illinois Chiefs Association. So, but I do appreciate them, and I appreciate everyone. Thank you.
We appreciate. I never saw so many officers at one time since I went to jail. I've never been to jail. Okay. Emergency Management Agency Director Alan Vavrick.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor and Board. In a timeline from 22 October to 12 November, EMA responded to 35 calls, 10 fire alarms, 1 odor investigation, 1 rollover semi, 4 gas leaks, 2 vehicle accidents versus pedestrians, 7 auto accidents, 3 AOAs assist other agencies to stagger for auto accidents, 1 assist another agency to creep for a structure fire, 1 brush fire, 2 CO alarms, and 1 smoke in a building. Also, too, I'd like to remind everybody with the weather changing, please drive carefully, please bundle up. Also, too, driving this Thanksgiving holiday, being next week, give yourself extra time to get to and from and arrive safely. And in conclusion, Mayor and Board, myself and my Deputy Chief, Gary Bell, would like to wish everyone a happy and safe holiday Thanksgiving. This will conclude my report. Thank you.
Okay. Public Works, I'll read the report from Kevin. Item number 1, leaks at 21724 Peterson, 1731 223rd place still outstanding. Yates upgrade was temporary backfill till we can return. Item number 2, staff started and completed north side shut off and turn off list, total 119 that were on that list. Item number 3, B-box dig and repaired at 1731 217th Street and 21919 Clyde. Item number 4, small job are being completed at the Village Hall, Police Department and Fire Department, plumbing, lights, HVAC, filters, and to put up the Knox boxes that need to be on the community center, and the keys are being made. Grass cutting completed for the season. Staff setting up for leaf rakes and trucks. Storm branch pickup completed. Next regular pickup will be May 2019. So that everyone knows, he wanted to let everyone know that the branches that are out now, he said those are not storm branch related. So if you cut bushes down, whatever, you'll be responsible for picking that debris up and get taken care of so you don't get a ticket. So all of the branches that they felt that were done in the storm, they've been picked up. I have been around and saw people that have put their clippings and pull up some of their foliage and put them on the sidewalk and on the curb, and they will not be picked up. So you will be responsible for doing that, whoever's doing it. Leaf pickup will begin on the 13th. Start raking piles down as of the 2nd of this month. And if there's other debris like branches or garbage in the pile, they will not be picked up. I'll reiterate. If there are other debris like branches or garbage in the pile, they will not be picked up, and the homeowner will be responsible for removal or tickets will be issued. Several concrete landscaping jobs were completed. 22434 Yates, 22444 Yates, 22149 Shirley. The asphalt at each location will be completed before the plant closes on the 19th of November. Several asphalt repairs, landscapings were completed at 22219 Paxton in the driveway, 11 foot by 18 foot, and 21539 Merrill Avenue, 12 feet by 34 feet. Well, number 3 airstripper sensor was replaced and is back in service. And the street light repairs on 218th and Clyde, a wood pole was replaced, arm and power needed. 2 other arms are also needed, but are not in the budget right now. Getting a quote from the vendor. And that concludes that report. Excuse me.
Mr. Mayor, do you know how long that well 3 was out or down?
I think he reported it last week. I'm sorry, 2 weeks ago. I think is when it went down. So, but it has nothing. It's well 3 is our backup well. So, in case well 1 and 2, either one of them get a hiccup or something happens, that well kicks in automatically. It keeps the flow going in the village. So.
You said 2 weeks.
I said 2 weeks ago is when he reported it being down.
Okay. Also, can you tell me the leak location service? I think they did it on 223rd. Is for $3,700.
The who? I didn't hear you.
It's a leak location service. Leak location service.
You said leak?
Leak, L-E-A-K, leak. It's on page 6.
No,
I'm just going by memory. It seemed like we did that already before. It's 37. It's back on again.
The leak or leak? Oh.
Leak location service. That's
he probably called it out for something. I'm pretty sure he wouldn't just. It must have been something. I don't know where actually it was.
Oh, okay.
That is the location of the existing water main that crosses 394.
Oh.
It's associated with our design work.
Okay. So we had to look for it.
Yeah, we didn't know exactly where that main is, and it's critical for us to know where to tie in with it.
Thanks.
Okay. Economic Development Director Joe Wizawati.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. The Illinois State Fire Marshal is issued permits to gas and wash for the underground storage tanks. These would be the tanks for the gasoline and diesel. Those tanks were installed under the direction of the Fire Marshal in conjunction with the Sauk Village Fire Prevention Bureau. Construction continues on the gas and wash project with ironwork underway as the project is moving full steam. The board has before it tonight for consideration the intergovernmental agreement between Cook County and Sauk Village. This IGA spells out the terms of the Invest in Cook grant for 2018-19. The village received $350,000 grant for Phase 1 engineering for roadway and rail expansion in the Logistics Center. Staff recommendation is to approve the resolution. The board also has before it a request for qualifications for Phase 1 engineering study pursuant to the 2018-19 Invest in Cook grant. The RFQ requests consultants and engineers to provide their qualifications for the work to be performed in the Logistics Center. Cook County and village staff will have reviewed the RFQ, and our recommendation is to approve the RFQ. The village will begin advertising the RFQ once approved, and will make a final decision subject to the notification to proceed from Cook County. Finally, I'm pleased to report that we've completed a request for information for a manufacturing company who is seeking 300,000 square feet and is considering Sauk Village as their location. The RFI will be delivered this week to their legal team. I want to thank the Sauk Village, or excuse me, the SSMMA, which is South Suburban Mayors and Managers Association, and CSEDC for their assistance in preparing the information necessary for the RFI. We've identified a property suitable for the location within our proposal. They are hoping to complete construction by their deadline, January of 2020, and we look forward to them selecting us as that location. Finally, I'd like to congratulate Malcolm White as our chief. Welcome you aboard. I've never seen so many brass stars in all my years here, so congratulations.
I have a quick question. Joe, did we get, the grant money for $75,000? I think we put the money out first. Has any money come back in to reimburse us?
The reimbursement request for that quarter will be sent in December 3rd. Yeah, that might be the 13th. I know it has a 3 in it, so.
I have a question. Correct me if I'm wrong. According to what you gave us last week, CN and WINPAC will not contribute anything to the rail spurs, to the development of the rail spurs. This is not included in the package for CNN and WINPAC to contribute any financial money or anything. That we are getting most of the money out of the grant, the $350 out of the grant, and the $100,000 that we're going to get out of the bond. So CN and WINPAC are not contributing anything.
That's correct. CN Railroad is not contributing to the Phase 1 engineering study, and WINPAC, as a property owner in the Logistics Center, doesn't have any interest in expanding the rail, so they wouldn't contribute either.
They don't have any interest?
They have no interest in expanding the rail service in the industrial park. In other words, their rail spur, they have 2 rail spurs that service WINPAC. They really don't have any interest in expanding the rail. The interest in expanding the rail is to provide other opportunities for businesses to grow and develop there.
Okay, reports of trustees, standing committees, and comments. Public Service Committee, Trustee Bernice Brewer.
I have no, I have no public service report. However, what I'm about to say is a little out of the area, but it has everything to do with residents. It has everything to do with accounts payable. So it's my impression. Every Tuesday, I ask for reports, and I ask for reports from Robinson Engineering to find out about the infrastructure information that we need in order to move the village forward. This is public information, and I'm not getting it again. So my question is to you, what is the problem, and why I can't get information relating to public service? Everything that we need is there.
Are you asking me this question? That's what you said, my question to you. Are you asking me this question?
Yes,
So your comment is to ask me a question?
yes. So the question I'm going to ask you is, why is it that I can't get the information needed in order to make an informed decision? I have been asking for this stuff since May of 2017. Robinson Engineering has the information. I don't understand why I can't get it. There shouldn't be a problem. All this stuff is public information, and I should have it. It's a no-brainer. And I mean, he was laughing. I was waiting till he finished.
Pardon me? Who you talking to?
So whoever was laughing.
I have no idea, ma'am. I'm looking at this paper.
Okay, I said whoever was laughing. Okay, bye-bye. So anyway.
Come on, let's, we've been here for a while.
So anyway, you ready? You finished? We'll wait till you finish.
We're not going, trustee, you have, is that your question? Why haven't you got information? Is that what your question is?
Yes, I mean, when I'm going to get this information. Also with the treasurers, the interim director, she's, even though I forwarded you the information, she says she has to respond to FOIA, but a lot of the stuff I have asked through regular channels, you know, write memos and ask her questions, and I can't seem to get the reports that I need in order to make decisions either. So I want to know what is the problem that I can't get information from Ms. Sauk, you know. It seems like to me they're holding up information that could be useful when we're making decisions for the village. And I can't get information from Ms. Suffolk nor Robinson Engineering. So can you check and find out when I can get that information from them so I can make an informed decision?
That was your comment?
Yeah, well, comment, question, and I'm going to respond to it.
Okay, I'm going to respond. As far as when can you get information, trustee, you asked for 4 years. I must have spent close to a ream of paper since you've been trustee asking for different things, and you say you don't get them. You do get them. What do you do with them? I have no idea. But yes, you do get information that you FOIA, that you ask questions about. I'm still waiting on a report that you were supposed to produce for your committee. You keep saying you gathered information. I don't know what that is. I have no idea, but I do know that the information that you asked for, you have gotten. You say you haven't gotten. You even told the Attorney General that you didn't get it until they sent things to you and told you, yes, you did, and here's what it was. So I don't know what it is that you're actually what more you're looking for, but you put a FOIA in every other day. So I'm sure out of the different FOIAs that you have, if you kind of go through them, you can probably see that you asked repeatedly the same question or repeatedly the same topic. So you saying that you can't get it, that is false. You do get your information. It may not be how the answer may not be what you want to hear or whatever, but it is the answer that is the right answer. So to say that you don't get information and you can't make decisions for that, that is not true. You do get information. And we keep copies of every single thing that's sent out to you. And you do get information. It sounds good that you say that you don't get it, but I have proof that you do get it. And we have copies of information that you asked for, that you FOIA, that you came to Ms. Sufton and anybody else that you asked for. We keep copies because for this particular reason, because you say you don't get it. So I've asked, anything that's given out, I need a copy of it. And I have copies of all the information that you have received since you started asking for it in May. So I don't understand that one, but you know, you keep saying that. Are we gonna go back and forth, or?
No, Mr. Mayor, I gotta clarify what information I'm talking about. The information I'm requesting from Robinson Engineering is not what I'm getting from the report.
Just a second, trustee, are you gonna let me finish?
No, I'm just responding to you because you indicated what I didn't know. So the information that I requested from Robertson Engineering since May about the feet of how many feet of pipe have we replaced, replaced since we've been in office since May. We haven't got that information. We just got the information last week about the number of fire hydrants and water main breaks.
You said you didn't get
Okay.
that. You just got to saying you didn't get information. Now you're saying you got it.
I said last week we
But
just
you
got
said
that
you did
information.
not get it, but now you're saying you got it.
And we just got that information last week, and the information that I need from Robertson Engineering has nothing. That has everything to do with loops, how much loops cost, and things like that. So those are things that we need in order to make an informed decision. And
Who's we?
and I got the
Who is
memos
we?
from you
Who
that
is we?
says that he cannot give me that information.
Please show that to me that I said
Okay,
that.
I'll forward you a copy tomorrow.
Okay.
You know. So, you know, for you to sit up here, yes, they respond to some FOIAs and some FOIAs I haven't got.
Okay.
Yes, so, yes, I'm saying I
This is
respond to
not
FOIA, but as far as Robertson Engineering is
contrary to
concerned,
what you
I don't
believe,
get the
trustee.
information. Contrary to what I know, you're not telling the whole
Okay,
truth.
well, I'm not gonna, like I told you before, I'm not gonna argue with you.
Well, don't
Anything
argue
else,
with
you have
me.
anything else
Okay.
on the public service in your comment?
Well, don't be
Do you have anything else under your public
You got anything
comment?
else? You let somebody else talk for a change.
I asked you a question, do you have anything else on, because, you know, this is not gonna go, we're not gonna do that. You have anything else under public service and your comments?
I'm asking, when can I get the information
I
from
told
Robertson
you, I've
Engineering?
already told you that you received it. Everything you
Okay,
asked for.
if I got
Why do
information
you
from
do this
Robertson
every week? Why do you do
Engineering,
this
how
every
come you
week,
just can't give me copies?
Why do you do this every week?
Why do you do it every week?
Do what? I don't ask you
what?
questions.
If you got the information, give it to me.
You have it.
Yeah, okay, give it to me. Give me a copy of it. Let me see it. If you got it, let me see it. It'll be simple. And I'll say, I'm sorry. If you got information from Robertson Engineering, let me see it.
That sounds cute, I guess.
I know. No, you ain't gave nobody no information.
Budget and Finance Committee, Trustee Roger Grant.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Just first, I just want to say congratulations and to Chief White. Look forward to seeing some of the positive things he does in the community. Secondly, I want to say congratulations to the village and Interim Director Judy Sutphin, because that's a pretty prestigious award to receive. And if I'm not mistaken, but don't quote me, I think the last time we did receive it was, I think, 2000. So it's been quite a while. And I know that, you know, with the budget process that we had, she did make at least 2 or 3 revisions just so we can kind of like meet the criteria to get, you know, considered for the award. So kudos to her. Also on the agenda tonight to be voted on is the acceptable uses policy for the village. And I know that Trustee Brewer had a question last week about regarding some kind of blockage if
Firewall.
or firewall that would happen if we use our Sauk Village email accounts and try to forward it to like our personal email. And I told her that we'll kind of work with that, and we'll kind of work to getting that resolved, along with the use of access for trustees and other employees when we do the amendment sometime in January or February. But hopefully we can vote on this tonight, as we don't have anything currently in place at the moment, so it'd be good to have something in place. Also, the last comment is that next Wednesday, the Budget and Finance Committee will meet at 7 o'clock here in the Rotunda. And that concludes my report.
Thank you. In the Housing and the Government Relations, Trustee Tate. Ordinance Review Committee, Trustee Linda Todd.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. The Ordinance Review Committee will meet on December 3rd at 6:30 here in the Rotunda. And I don't know if one of the ordinances that we have under new business, and I don't know if I should do this when you go under new business, I was asked to have one of them tabled. So did you want me to do that when you do the new business?
Yes, you can ask for that one to be tabled.
Okay. And I was wondering if you will be in the office on Thursday, because there's a couple of things I want to discuss with you.
Yes, I have a meeting that morning, so I should be back from Lombard in about 12, so I should be back by 12.
Okay, because I need to see you on a couple of things.
Okay.
But I'll give you an email.
Okay,
Okay, that ends my report.
thank you. Public Safety Committee, Trustee Bev Zupan.
Given that we've got a new police chief tonight, I think that means I'm probably not going to have a public safety meeting in December, as I think I need to give the new chief a chance to assess what he has with the current state of the police department. I know he's got a 60 and a 90-day plan that he wants to execute, so I think I need to give him a chance to get a jump start on that before I start to pester him about my wants with the Public Safety Committee. Although, don't worry, he's going to hear from me and know, because I'll be like a little bird on his shoulder bugging him nonetheless, because I'm good at that. Changing over to my comments, I just wanted to say thank you for yesterday's Veterans Day event. For those of you who were not here, I want to say thank you, Trustee Carter. You were an awesome MC and Master of Ceremonies for the event. And then secondly, how impressed I was too with Mr. Farrell. We had a World War II veteran with us yesterday who is 90 years young.
Someone, Mr. Farrell?
Mr. Farrell, yeah. That I got to sit across from him at the lunch yesterday, and just, man, I could just sit and talk to him all day. He's got so many stories to tell and experiences to share. He's just a wealth of information, so I really enjoyed myself and had a great time yesterday. So was really pleased with that event and wish we had more veterans and residents here to participate. So, and that ends my comments. Thank you.
Thank you. Next one, I'm going to have to get this heading down to you, Trustee Todd, as far as the community outreach, so we can get the proper information and have the committee be named properly through an ordinance. So I will get that to you. But right now, Mr. Carter.
Mr. Mayor, at this time I have no comments.
Thank you. Reports from committee commissions, Senior Advisory Committee, Chairman, Mr. Emmett Farmer.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor and trustees. Our next meeting for our Senior Advisory Council is this Thursday, November 15th. Sorry I don't have the time on there, but it's 5 o'clock and all is welcome. Also, Medicare sales meetings have started at the Senior Center on Monday, October 15th. Will run through December 7th for annual enrollment period, every Monday at 10:30 and every Wednesday at 12:30 p.m. except November 21st, which is the day before Thanksgiving. Flyers are posted with all dates and times around the Village Hall in the Senior Center. Please let all your seniors turning 65 or they that are 65 or older know, please. Thank you. Game night, of course, is every first and third Friday. Please come out and invite your seniors for bid whist and other games. We had a huge crowd last Friday, and they really had a good time. So we actually start at 6 o'clock and go to 10. So invite your seniors out. You know, we're getting a lot of participation with that. Also, our first senior luncheon will be held this Friday, November 16th, and that actually starts at 11 o'clock, and all our seniors are invited, 50 and over. Lunch will be sponsored by Eastern Stars, and we're going to have a Thanksgiving dinner, which will be featured, and we do have flyers posted around the village, so hopefully all you all can join us for our first luncheon, and that concludes my report.
Thank you. New business. I will accept a motion to approve the accounts payment and disbursements for November 13th, 2018, the amount of $484,465.96.
Got comment?
It was moved by Trustee Carter, second by Trustee Zupan. Question?
Mr. Mayor, I don't agree with item 10B. I would like the
Who?
With item 10B, I would like,
We got a motion right now.
you asked for a comment, then you.
No, I asked for comment on motion A, on the accounts payable. Any other questions on the accounts payable? Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Excuse me, Mr. Mayor. I'm supposed to make a comment.
I asked you, you said something about 10B. We haven't gotten to 10B.
10A,
You said 10B.
10A.
Okay.
But there's a motion on the floor.
There's a motion. I mean, she has a question to that. Is that question related to that motion?
10A,
What's the question?
she keeps saying yes, no.
I'm asking you.
It's the Senior Advisory Council.
10A
No,
on mine
it's
is,
not.
motion to,
It's not.
accounts payable is 10A.
Kinda. Okay, what's the question to the accounts payable?
I don't agree to 10A, and I want to have that separated from the rest of the accounts payable agenda.
I don't understand your question. What do you mean you don't agree to 10A? 10A is the accounts payable.
Well, I want to separate the amount of from accounts payable for Dr. Straughter, the 6 invoices, and also anything for LAP, and also the salary for Judith Sutphin. None of these things have been brought to the, none of these items have been brought to the board for approval.
And this break is being brought to the board now for approval. You mean that has not been?
Individuals have been brought to the board for approval.
What approval are you talking about?
The approval for Sutphin.
Ms. Sutphin, I don't understand what you're talking about.
The LAP group hasn't been brought before the
Yes,
board
it
for
has.
approval.
For approval of what,
When did
trustee?
the LAP group?
What are you talking
LAP
about?
group was not brought before the board for approval.
Approval of what?
To be the attorneys.
They're one of our attorneys. Yes, they were.
They were not brought before the board. And they were not brought before the board for Ms. Sutphin. And as far as I have issues with Dr. Straughter, we're still not clear on how much she should be paid each month.
So those are the things that you're asking those things to be excluded. Is there anybody else?
And voted on separately.
Is anybody else? Is there any other questions on that?
I'd like to put it in.
Is there any other questions? Does anybody else have any other question on that particular item that she's asking for to be removed?
That's 3.
Okay, we'll go with the original motion. Madam Clerk, would you please call the roll for the accounts payable?
Trustee Zupan?
Yes.
Trustee Brewer? Trustee Carter?
Yes.
Trustee Grant?
Yes.
Trustee Tate?
Yes.
Trustee Todd?
Yes.
Motion is carried. I'll entertain a motion to approve a service agreement with Sauk, which is Simplified Online Communication System.
Yes.
I have a motion.
Second.
So moved by Trustee Carter, yes, and second by Trustee Zupan. Are there any questions? Madam Clerk?
Trustee Brewer?
Yes.
Trustee Carter?
Yes.
Trustee Grant?
Yes.
Trustee Tate? Yes. Trustee Todd?
Yes.
Trustee Zupan?
Yes.
Motion is carried. Item C, motion to approve an ordinance amending Article 6, the alarms of Chapter 22, Emergency Management and Services of the Municipal Code of the Village of Sauk Village. I'll entertain a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Trustee Zupan, second by Trustee Carter. Any questions? Madam Clerk?
Trustee Carter?
Yes.
Trustee Grant?
Yes.
Trustee Tate?
Yes.
Trustee Todd?
Yes.
Trustee Zupan?
Yes.
Trustee Brewer?
Yes.
Motion is carried. A motion to approve an ordinance amending section 14-24 of the Property Maintenance Code adopted of Division 1, generally of Article 1, Building and Technical Codes of Chapter 14, Buildings and Building Regulations of the Municipal Code of the Village of Sauk Village. I'll entertain a motion.
Mr. Mayor, can we table this?
This is the one that you wanted to table?
Yes, we want to table, I want to table it to a later date.
Does anybody else have a problem with tabling it? You don't have a problem with it?
No.
Okay. That'll be tabled. Item number E, motion to approve the resolution approving the intergovernmental agreement between the County of Cook and Village of Sauk Village for the 2018 Invest in Cook Grant.
So moved.
Second.
It was moved by trustee Zupan, second by trustee Carter. Any questions? Madam Clerk?
Trustee Tate?
Yes.
Trustee Todd?
Yes.
Trustee Zupan?
Yes.
Trustee Brewer?
Yes.
Trustee Carter?
Yes.
Trustee Grant?
Yes.
Motion is carried. A motion to approve the documented criteria for the request for qualifications for a Phase 1 engineering study pursuant to the 2018 Invest in Cook Grant. I'll entertain a motion.
Second.
Moved by trustee Zupan, second by trustee Carter. Any questions? Madam Clerk?
Trustee Todd?
Yes.
Trustee Zupan?
Yes.
Trustee Brewer?
Yes.
Trustee Carter?
Yes.
Trustee Grant?
Yes.
Trustee Tate?
Motion is carried. I'll entertain a motion to approve the Sauk Village acceptable usage policy.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by trustee Grant, second by trustee Carter. Any questions? Madam Clerk?
Trustee Zupan?
Yes.
Trustee Brewer?
Yes.
Trustee Carter?
Yes.
Trustee Grant?
Yes.
Trustee Tate? Trustee Todd?
Yes.
Motion is carried. The last thing I didn't, and I thank trustee trustee Zupan for mentioning the Veterans Day. I just want to thank everyone, put it on record that I appreciate that State Senator L.G. Sims was here, along with the other people that spoke. And I appreciate all the veterans that came out. I think we had like 25 veterans that came out. And I'm just glad we were able to do this. And also, I just wanted to put on the record that the food was donated privately, paid for with private funds. It was not paid for with anything from the village, it was paid for through private funds. So I'd just like to thank the people that made that possible. That being said, I'll accept the motion for adjournment. Moved by trustee Carter, second by trustee Zupan. All in favor? Aye. Motion carried. Thank you.